So we had the Iowa caucus. It was last night when I'm making this video. What is it, like January 16th? So it was yesterday, right? January 15th. And everybody was so worried. It was like one of the biggest talking points, or the points that the voters wanted for Trump and the Republican people to talk about, or the candidates, like their biggest points that they needed to hit was immigration, right? So immigration's the number one thing that people are so worried about. But nobody's talking about the robots coming over. They think that the robot, like taking over and doing the mediocre jobs that nobody else wants to do, or the really I don't say like medial, like just folding clothes, all the typical stuff. Like McDonald's had the robots taking over and like making the burgers and stuff.
Imagine entering a restaurant and discovering that there's no one to take your order or serve your food. How does that feel? Instead, there's robots handling every task, and the only human on premise is you. This might sound like something out of a Netflix Black Mirror episode, but the first fully automated McDonald's in the United States is real.
Just like stuff, stacking stuff, picking up boxes, the labor jobs nobody ground floor wants to do, but it's good for entry level jobs to start working your way into a company, right? So if you're like trying to get into UPS, which ends up paying a ridiculous amount of money over time, right? It's extremely hard to get into, so people get into it through the warehouse. But if you have the robots already on the ground floor doing the warehouse, just lifting the boxes and then moving the boxes, then where is the entry level person going to come into? That is what I don't see people talking about. But they're so worried about people coming in through the borders and then taking their jobs. But then they're also, on the same token, complaining that there's nobody working. We see all these, nobody wants to work anymore. So you see that at the same time as people complaining, it being like the number one issue. And then they're worrying about the economy behind that. So I would say this is more of a bigger priority, and then making sure that the rules and the laws are more centered around the fact that robots are going to be coming. AI is already here, changing industries as we speak right now. Even for my website, theblazamedia.com, I would typically have to hire a numerous amount of writers, but I can just have AI generate something for me, and then I use my own personal experience to help edit the article and then be able to provide more coherent and reliable information to the viewer without hiring a full freaking staff, and I only have to hire a couple people, right? Now the robots are going to be taking over doing all the actual labor jobs, and then removing all the barrier. It's actually increasing the barrier to entry for the regular jobs that are available so that people can get into companies. Anyways, guys, that was a long intro, but let's just go ahead and get into it. So right here, we could see the freaking Tesla robot, the Optimus. Mind you, there's a Gen 2 we'll take a look at here in a little bit. Folding clothes, definitely taking as much time as possible. So I wouldn't say he's the most efficient just yet, but this is the first that we're seeing it doing these type of tasks. You see they're in the lab right now. They're all hanging. It's kind of like a scary little thing right here, though. You know, it's like when they're walking in the movies and everything's like hanging, and then all the robots, you walk into it, it's all abandoned, and all the robots just drop down, the eyes turn red type of deal. As you can see, the freaking robot just standing there folding clothes out of the basket. All he has to do is be a little bit faster, and then he's taking everybody's jobs. And then there's a Gen 2. Let's just take a look at this one real fast. Just taking it out of the basket. You can see like the fingers and everything. The movement's very smooth, so it's not like super clunky. And then, you know, they're good at data collection. So that's what Elon Musk even said. Like the cars are on the road, they're really just mapping the entire country, or mapping wherever they're driving. So really, Tesla is a data company. So when these robots are being placed, right, it's really just going to be data collection too at the same time. So you got to think about that type of stuff as well when you're talking about privacy and keeping your data safe and all that stuff. The next one, though, is the Optimus 2. So I'm assuming this one looks like, this is the Optimus 2 right here. But the full demonstration is on the next page, just in case you haven't seen it. I haven't seen this video either, by the way, so I'm first time watching it. So that's the Optimus Gen 1. You can see it's all iffy. The gears everywhere. This one looks sleek. Newer model right here. Newer model. The movements are definitely way smoother. Yeah. When he does it, it does look like just a little bit like he has to poop though. So everything else is good to go. But why does the walk look so eerie? Is it? And then these are what the designers have to deal with. Like, why does the walk look so off? It's like there's certain particularly about a human walk, and then when the robot walks, it looks a little bit iffy. I don't know what it is. It's in the knees. It has to be in the knees. Maybe everybody's posture isn't that straight. That's just like complete straight posture or whatever. It just kind of looks like he's tiptoeing around. I don't know. It kind of makes you want to try it though. Like, I kind of want to stand up and try to do it, but it just looks like he's tiptoeing around though. Improves balance. See, that's interesting. So then, yeah, so now you can see how they have that delicate touch and everything. You're going to be seeing all the, I'm telling you, so in a decade, right? Most likely, for sure in a decade, all these robots are going to be placed in the entry level positions at companies that require labor. So I would say this is just, you're seeing it right now. Probably it's not being circulated as much until it shows up on the mainstream media and then they're directly being warned about it. But I would say this is just a nice little warning to be like, hey, maybe you should like improve your skills, get to like a higher level, less replaceable occupation or something that can't be taken over by robots. But then again, with the development of AI, you're starting to see like maybe senior developers or something being replaced as well. Senior developers in themselves, I would say just junior developers are going to be start getting replaced, but the senior developers are the ones that actually works with the C-suite and then help managing like different aspects of a certain software that need to be either changed or replaced. So that job most likely won't go away. But with the continual development of AI, we're starting to see different trends and everything. So you never know. Just it's always just a warning to get your skills up as high as possible. Even with the immigrants coming in, you're like, oh, there's immigrants. You need workers. We need this. This needs to happen. This is going to help. When these robots take over the remedial jobs, that's just going to open up more jobs. So now it's just going to be, now you're a robot manager, right? So they're just you're taking away all those lesser jobs, and then now you're going to be a manager of it. Or maybe now there's going to be more maintenance for the robots or whatever at the company. Maybe they want an in-house maintenance person, but knowing Tesla, that's not going to happen because you can't even work on your own car. So that's what that is. I don't know. But yeah, I think the walking's good, the movement's good, the grabbing thing's good, gentle touch and all that. There just needs to be an override, right? You need to have a freaking override for these things. But with all that said, what are your thoughts? What do you think is going to happen? Do you think they're going to be able to replace us? Do you think it's going to happen earlier? That's what I think. That's what my thing is. Like, it might happen even earlier. They're already demonstrating it right now in the factories. You saw the robot folding clothes. Now you're just going to need to see it loading boxes, picking up boxes, loading them into the truck, working at warehouses, moving them to different areas. All that stuff can be easily programmed in once they get the basic level stuff into the robot. So yeah, just let me know your thoughts on the video down below. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.